Picture this. Imagine having an amazing life filled with family, friends, and fond memories, but to slowly lose all those memories and forget all the familiar faces you used to know. Well, that's what happens to someone with Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's is a complex disease that often affects more than just a person's way of living, but there are many organizations that help to donate and support. I joined Sigma Kappa, a sorority here at KU freshman year, and that got me closely connected to Alzheimer's Association because it's one of the 5 philanthropies. And ever since I joined, I was encouraged to donate and support, and I believe that makes me a very credible individual. Today, I will be talking to you guys about what the disease is, how it affects more than just the person diagnosed, and also how there are organizations that strive to make funding and donations possible to help out the association. Alzheimer's is a disease affecting the brain that causes memory loss along with thinking and behavioral problems. Alzheimer's Association published a brochure online in 2016, and they state that there are many forms of dementia, but the most popular one is Alzheimer's, and it affects nearly 5 million Americans. Also in the brochure, they state that our brains are full of cells which allow us to work and function daily, but scientists believe that Alzheimer's disease causes disruption in the way our cells work, which leads to the memory loss and the behavioral problems and the thinking problems. Alzheimer's can happen to anyone at any time, but the individuals diagnosed, they'll all notice relatively similar symptoms, but they won't necessarily notice them at the same time. There are 3 stages to Alzheimer's disease: early, middle, and late. Early being the best stage and late is the worst. Late stage Alzheimer's is when the patient can no longer carry on a conversation or control their movement or even respond to their environment. Alzheimer's Association published a fact sheet in 2016, and one of their facts was that between 2000 and 2015, the annual number of deaths due to Alzheimer's was over 123%, but the annual number of deaths overall in the world only increased by 13%. They also estimate that over 700,000 Americans will die due to Alzheimer's in 2018. They also have a fact that shows from 1998, Alzheimer's was the 12th leading cause of death in America, and by 2007, it rose to the 6th leading cause of death, and it continues to get worse because there is no cure. Though Alzheimer's is rapidly increasing, it affects more than just the individual diagnosed. It's also known as the family disease because it brings stress and sadness on a family when they realize the loved one forgets who they are and all the memories attached with their whole life. ASCCare.com published an article in 2014 regarding caregiving, and they said that being a caregiver causes a person's health to suffer due to lack of attention in themselves, trying to keep the loved one comfortable. They also tend to suffer emotionally, feeling guilty when they have to admit the loved one into a nursing home, or they notice short temper or even a burden due to all the caregiver duties. They'll also tend to notice social isolation and financial problems. The social isolation comes about when they sacrifice their own life to be able to be around the individual and keep them company. And the financial hardships come about when the medical bills add up and the at-home nursing and all those finances add up, along with taking time off work or even quitting their job to be able to be around the loved one and spend as much time as they can with them. Just because memories start to fade doesn't mean that the shared time and companionship go away. Alzheimer's gradually gets worse over time, but it gives the family time to prepare and plan ahead. Caregiver.org published an article as well regarding caregiving, and they state that nearly 15 million Americans provide unpaid care to someone with a form of dementia, and a big majority of that group is women. Alzheimer's disease affects more than those diagnosed, but donations from organizations are highly needed to support funding for research. Sigma Kappa is a sorority here on campus that was founded in 1874 and has 5 philanthropies as published on Sigma Kappa's website, but their biggest philanthropy is Alzheimer's Association, and every year they have multiple events that help raise money and awareness for the disease. So the biggest event that they have is called Sigma Appetizers, and it's every spring. Basically, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and some of the most loved restaurants in Lawrence cater their food. And last year, we raised over $11,000 to help, and it was all donated to the Alzheimer's Association. But just by being able to purchase a $5 ticket allowed the KU and the Greek life community to be able to help support along with Sigma Kappa. Also, every fall, we participate in the Walk to End Alzheimer's in Kansas City, and it's a 5K, And each member is encouraged to raise $30 for the walk, but many members go above and beyond and raise over $100. This year we were able to raise $13,000. And the Walk to End Alzheimer's posted statistics on their webpage in 2018, and this year they raised over $830,000 and had over 3,700 participants. Alzheimer's attacks cognitive skills, which lead to memory loss, thinking and behavioral problems, along with language skills. It's a disease that greatly impacts the ones diagnosed, but also the loved ones who have to watch it happen. And though Alzheimer's disease has no cure, Sigma Kappa makes it a priority to raise money and support the cause. There are many ways to help donate and support Alzheimer's Association. Being such a complex disease, all the help from organizations goes a long way. I hope you learned a lot about the disease itself, along with the emotional and physical aspects, and how it doesn't just affect the person being diagnosed, but also those who have to watch it happen. And also that there are a ton of organizations that work strongly with the association to be able to help fund researching. Thank you.